3A Sectional 27, Belmont at Concordia, Yorktown at Lures. Let's talk about Belmont at Concordia first. This is a game I think a lot of people are wondering where the level of the SAC is, where the level of the Northeast State is. I think we're going to find out a lot about that Friday night in Decatur. Yeah,
our esteemed colleague, the Pigskin Prophet, wrote about that in Saturday's paper. He's talking about that Belmont team that shares the Northeast State title. Concordia finishes 6th in the SAC, and we always, every year, how does X team match up with Y team? And this is a classic matchup where you look at it and you're saying, well, I mean, if Concordia beats a Belmont team that finished first, I mean, where does that put the rest of the NE8 kind of in the pecking order amongst SAC teams? So tremendous intrigue in that game just to see which team is better in relation to where they are at in their conference.
To me, one of the things that's really intriguing is we take a look at the SAC this year, and because they have so many great quarterbacks, teams haven't run the football, it seems, as much. Yeah. Belmont is a traditional ground-and-pound team. Greg Gutierrez, though, has shown he can throw the football effectively.
Yeah.
But if you're Concordia, you're kind of facing a ground-and-pound team that you haven't faced every week.
Right.
How is that a challenge for what Concordia does defensively?
It's a challenge because I compare Belmont a lot to like a Navy team, that they're not doing the triple option like Navy, but they just put long, slow, monotonous drives together and will eat up 6, 7, 8 minutes of the clock. And then if they score, they ate so much off the clock and now they're ahead. But if you put them down a couple touchdowns, I think it really takes them out of our comfort zone. And what they like to do is where they just like to hand off. And like to just grind out yards and grind out first downs. And I think, if you can limit them into doing that, then you got a tremendous shot to win. I just don't know if Belmont can match Concordia score for score if it becomes a shootout.
Well, on the flip side, I think, to me, in the Northeast State, the team that Concordia resembles the most might be East Noble. And obviously we saw, in Week 9, Belmont went up to East Noble. Yeah. They had some trouble in the second half controlling Andrew McCormick and the receivers and, a dynamic passing attack like that. How concerned are you if you're Larry Getz and the Braves, and how key is stopping Daniel Sparks and what their offense does? Even though they're minus a bunch of receivers based on injuries, how key is it for them to try and slow down that offense of Concordia?
That's a huge thing. The question mark going into Friday is if does Peterson Curligrand play for Concordia? He was out with an ankle last week. Coach said, Coach Manigault said he probably could go this week. It's dicey at this point. You don't know about that ankle. So called him day to day, but can he play? Obviously a huge part of what Concordia likes to do. You got Daniel Sparks back there, but he's missing his top 3 passing options. His brother David's out for the year. Justice King's out for the year. Guys like that. You got Paxton Bergdahl looked tremendous last week at wide receiver. First time I'd gotten an extended look at him this year. You're thinking 6'7" basketball kid. Okay, he'll stand out there, but just how does he translate? Soft hands, good footwork. I mean, you kind of it sounds normal, but it's just tough to translate that from the basketball court to the football field.
Big target.
Yeah, and he's been able to do it. He was tremendous last week. So, he's a mismatch because at 6'7", not many guys can match him height-wise. But Belmont's going to have to account for him. It should be a good game. I expect a really good game out of both teams.
Yeah, Colton Grahovac has really stepped up with that passing game as well. Yeah. Yorktown and Lures, I thought heading into this week we'd be talking about a 9-1 Peru team coming to Bishop Lures, but this is a rematch of what we saw last year in the playoff. Sans Riley Neal, who's now the starting quarterback at Ball State. So what does Yorktown have after they upset Penn, and what does Lures have to do? Because you're talking about a Lures team that's coming off an 82-point outing.
And I think they just scored again.
They
just scored.
This just in from Howard County.
Seriously, what we were writing on Friday night, we go, can we call that game a rout? They win by 30, but they give up 52 points. So, I mean, are you more happy with the 82 or are you more upset with the 52? I mean, those are going to be so different meetings. I mean, because you have so many kids go both ways at Lures. They're going to leave that offensive meeting going, man, we're awesome. And they're going to go over to the defensive meeting and be like, man, we're terrible. So that's the question for me long-term for Lures. I don't think they have a problem with Yorktown this week, but long-term, because if Northwestern's dropping 52 on you, what happens when you get deeper in the playoffs and regional and semi-state? Because that defense has lost some guys throughout the season to various reasons, but hopefully it's just a one-week thing for Kyle Lindsey's team.
On the flip side, you take a look at the 82 on offense, and you're saying, we're doing this with a guy who did not start out the season as our quarterback.
Yeah.
He has enough experience now, in my mind, you could call him a starting quarterback, but Jack Johnston coming into the season if you look at their roster, they didn't even have quarterback listed as one of his positions.
Yeah.
Because you had Noah Wazinski there. No one's going to unseat that
Yeah.
guy. So how good do you feel about, like, this guy's first postseason start at quarterback? They get 82. And granted, Mac had a touchdown, special teams, all that kind of stuff. But you have to feel pretty good about that at least, right?
Yeah, I think the major issue with Jack Johnston when he had first taken over the starting quarterback job was turnovers. And if he can limit those and just stop turning the ball over, and I think he's starting to win. He had 3, though, week 9 against Northside. He just needs to cut down the interceptions and just be smarter with the football. And if he's able to do that and play within himself, play within the offense, don't try to make plays all the time. Don't try to be Noah Wazinski. You don't have to be Noah Wazinski. You just have to be Jack Johnson, not turn the ball over and just find Austin Mack or wherever he's at. So, and by the way, Northwestern, I don't know if you're watching any tape, but you're kicking off to Austin Mack to begin the game, and he returns a kickoff. At this point, why is anybody kicking him? Just turn sideways and kick the ball out of bounds. I don't understand why teams continue to kick to him.
I believe I made that point Friday on the highlight zone.
I mean, seriously.
Is if you watched any tape on this guy, keep the ball out of his hands. But I want to go back and defend Lewis' defense, because when you get a touchdown like that and they're fast, Northwestern's going to have a lot of possessions defensively. Not that you're happy giving up 52. You're not. I know Kyle Lindsey won't be. But they had so many chances because you gave them so many chances because you scored 82. I mean, that's part of it, too.
Yeah, and, we don't know how many people are they playing both ways, and you're just getting no rest. I mean, you're just going out and scoring, and then you got to go out there, and then mentally, if you're going out there going, well, I understand Lewis is given 100%, but if you have in your mind saying, well, even if we give up a touchdown, our offense is just going to score again anyway. Just how much is it within him going, man, I'm going to rest on defense so that I'm fresh for offense.
Well, do you feel better about their chances to make it down to Lucas Oil Stadium now as opposed to this point last week?
That's the interesting question, because I don't know what to garner more from. I don't know whether to take the 82 more or the 52 more. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've seen enough of that defense to know, okay, 52 just seems like an enigma. It seems like an outlier from what we've seen the rest of the year. The 82 obviously is high, but we've seen Lewis consistently score points all year. So, in my opinion, you feel very good, I think, where that offense drops the 82 with Jack Johnston at quarterback, just because they're going to have to put up points to get down to Lucas Oil. But at the same time, man, that defense, you hope they come out and have a good showing this week.